I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I know this ball. I'm not really a big fan of this balls. I'm glad you are. I'm glad you are, Blandrew. But for me personally, I don't care for the boss too much. But one of the things I enjoyed the hell out of was like the monologue, like the whole like. If you listen to his monologue throughout the fight, it's like this weird self-realization. Like he's talking shit, but he's also like, is that why? Almost like he's reflecting on the events that led him into this moment and going, was this shit even worth it? Like it's a very like introspective track. Oh, I got Bojangles. Ladies and gentlemen. Also, DoorDash has its issues, but for the most part, I don't have any problems. The only problem I had tonight is these fuckers didn't give me a goddamn straw. So, that kind of sucks. Oh well. Show us your paw. That sounds like a sexual harassment, sir. Well, hey. This is the food. This is the food. I don't know if people. So I don't know if everyone has a Bojangles, but if you do, pretty good chicken. I'm not gonna lie. It's only been like a year or two since I really started going to Bojangles again, but definitely don't regret it. You never heard of Bojangles? You must live in the north. You either live in the north or you live in the west, or both. Because if you live in the south, you heard about Bojangles. Arizona, I can see that. Also, Revolver, that's probably the better choice to take anyway. Today is like my cheat day anyway, so that's why. And let's be real here. As a child, I was kind of surrounded by a bunch of fucking fast food joints, so it's kind of hard to avoid. But I just drink, and now I have no straw. So we gotta do this the old-fashioned way. I love how they still cover these drinks like we're still in COVID times, because that's what they're doing. It's not a terrible thing to do. It's just different. Now I can fuck this up easily, but we're gonna try this. I should have told him no ice. This would have made this easier. It's too late now. Side note, you probably should never do this kind of shit in front of your goddamn computer screen. But as you know, I don't fucking listen to nobody. So that's why we're gonna do it here. We will get into proper conversation in a minute. Oh, this is not gonna go well. Yeah, there's no way. The ice is gonna fuck this up. Hold on. I don't think this is possible. Hold on. Never mind, that worked out. This is working out a little bit better than I thought it would. Hey. Hey. Yeah, baby. This is working out way better than I thought. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Alright, we in there. Alright. Alright. Let's go. I genuinely thought I was gonna spill. I actually moved like a towel under me just in case. That's how paranoid I was. Hold on. Now if I can just close the top properly. And we'll be in business, baby. Actually, I think that might be a better experience. Anywho, how is everyone? Good day, it's your boy, the Insane Game Freak. Back at it again. Hope everyone's doing well. This fine Friday evening. We're gonna talk about stuff. Oh, that's sugar water. Damn, Revolver. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I have low time for junk food. I get sick from a few bites. That's probably a good thing for you anyway. Keeps you slim. You got Bojangles next to a Sonic across the street from a Crystals with a Popeyes up the road and a Dunkin' Donuts across from that. It's a pick of choose what you want on the highway. I would say around me, I have a very, I will say my area has something similar. I think mine's is hold on, let's see. It's a Taco Bell that's across the street from a Zaxby, which is diagonal to a McDonald's, which is across the street and down the road from a Waffle House, which is also across the street and down the road from a Dunkin' Donuts, which is right near a Chick-fil-A, which is up the street from a Burger King, which is right across the diagonal to the street of Applebee's, and I think that kind of lines it up. There's a couple other like major restaurant chains over here too, but still. Revolver, what? Relax. Yes, Bojangles. I'm eating Bojangles. The stream started late because of Bojangles. I regret nothing. Applebee's is okay, but I don't go there often. I think I may have gone like twice in the last year. So it's not like a default place for me. Alright. But I fuck with seasoned fries though. The kicker is that only go there for the fries. Oh yeah, the seasoning on the fries is hits. But you can't tell me you don't fuck with the chicken, Apex. The chicken is good. What you mean? Yeah, you can. You can fuck up seasoned fries real easily. You know how you fuck up seasoned fries? You don't put seasoning on the fries. You'd be so surprised how many fucking places mess up this one little factoid. It's so ridiculous. I'm not drinking milk. I am. Really? Red Lobster has soured you? Why? Applebee's is okay. That's not where I'm at with Applebee's. I understand the disdain, but for me personally, I don't mind it. You must have a white good. Revolver, you're a savage, yo. Thank you for the 15 viewers. It's pink lemonade. Lightning? That's what it is. It's pink lemonade. But they didn't give me a straw, so I just put it in my own water bottle. Because it made more sense to do that. Because I don't really drink sodas anymore. Alright. First rule of any fast food you eat, you always eat the fries first no matter what. But I'm going to try to get into the main topic while I eat the chicken. Because I feel like that's possible. Also, honey mustard. Now, barbecue is always an acceptable answer. But I've been on that honey mustard kick lately, so that's where we're at. I don't know how you thought this was milk, Lightning. I really don't. So, as we know what's going on currently, there's been a lot of rumor mill talks of a sequel to our Nintendo Switch. We also know that pretty much it's been almost pretty much confirmed that that Microsoft deal is going to happen with Activision. And more importantly, it's not really more importantly, but PlayStation is now at 40 million units sold, I believed. I think I had to double check because I thought it said shipped, and shipped and sold are not the same fucking thing. Also, I put my keyboard down here because I didn't want to get it wet from earlier. So I probably should pull this back up. So we're at that point where we're hitting the turning point. Also, there's been rumors about there being a PS5 Pro anyway. So we're in kind of that rumor. And then, hell, I think today we got a Pokemon Direct announcement, which happens on Monday, right? No, it's the 8th. The 8th is, no, it's not Monday. Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday, which is kind of crazy because Pokemon never announces a Direct this far in advance. This is like 4 days in advance, which makes me very curious about what they're going to announce other than, you know, the obvious. Wow, Revolver. Did we have to go in that direction? Jesus Christ. It's on Saturday, Apex. It's on Saturday. Don't lie to me. Nintendo's the right thing. This might be one of the smoothest transitions. That is true. That is very true. Because they're talking about like mid 2024. And this year, although hasn't been amazing on the latter half, I think overall is a good year for Nintendo. Zelda in itself made it a good year. Pikmin 4 has made it a good year. We still got a mainline 2D Mario coming out later on this year, and a remake of one of the most popular Nintendo games on the N60. No, Super Nintendo, right? Yeah, Super Nintendo. So it hasn't been like the strongest year, but it's been a pretty strong year for Nintendo. So if they transition it into like the Princess Peach game and maybe finish it with like, I don't know, something else. It really depends on what announcements we get going into like the fall directs. Like once we hit like August, October, November, what do we get in those directs? That'll kind of dictate next year and what we're looking for. Because we know the Peach game is coming out. But I think that's the only major 2024 release we know about. And Metroid just exists currently. Which most people are just assuming that's going to be a launch title for like the next system. If we're going by the summer logic. I pray for no Pokemon remakes. I'm so tired of Game Freak's low effort in Pokemon games. That doesn't mean they're not going to do it, Revolver. I actually agree with Orion Sword. I did not get the Amiibo Lightning. I kind of forgot about it until I think I saw Dean, he bought it. So, I'll leave it up to you guys first. Who do we tackle first? PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo? Put your name, put your choices in the chat now. Which console do we tackle first? Because there's a lot to say about some more than others. And I know there's some more than others you care about. But I'll let you guys pick. So what you want to hit first? So damn, y'all all want to start with Sony. I got 2 Sony pushes. Is that it? Is that all we're gonna get for Sony? Is it gonna be Sony talk? There's 15 of you in here. What are we talking about first? You guys know you have a limited amount of time. I see 1 Microsoft. All right, we got 2 for Sony, 1 for Microsoft. I guess y'all want to save Nintendo for last, which I'm not mad at. I mean, I respect that. God damn it. So now Microsoft and Sony are tied. We have to talk about Sony. But where we're at is we have 2 Microsoft and 2 Sony. We need to end this discussion on a positive note. So, come on, get your vote in. I have a little bit of this chicken left. Yeah, he's in Japan right now, Android. God damn it. So now we're tied again. We have 3 for Microsoft and 3 for Sony. Guys, we need to come to a decision. Well, you can honestly wait a year or two before buying a PS5. They're not missing much. Oh, that's true. I don't plan. I'm not rushing that bitch either way. You think I was in a hurry? Spider-Man was like the only game I'm kind of in a hurry for, and I'm not fiending to play that. So we need a tiebreaker. The next person to put in Sony or Microsoft who hasn't already voted is the one we'll talk about first. If you ask me personally, I think Sony will be more interesting to talk about, but hey, I'll let the next person decide. All right, so we're doing Sony. You fuck. No, Antry, you were too slow. Oh, it's Sony. It's Sony. All right, so. All right, so. I think what? The PlayStation 5, if I remember right, just so I got my facts straight, hold on. Let's see. Yes, we can allow that. What the fuck? The PlayStation 5 came out at the end of 2020. So in the next, I don't know what, 3 months, this console will be 3 years old. And in the 3 years that we have it, what I find the most interesting is kind of Sony's strategy in terms of handling their first-party content and just the console in general. Now, obviously, there's a chip shortage and there's been issues with all 3 consoles. Although it's hurt, I would say, more PlayStation and Xbox more than anything because your consoles came out the door struggling because of it. They also came out the time during the pandemic where people were losing their minds and upselling PlayStation 5s just to get their hands on one, right? And I wasn't in a huge hurry to get it. And what we're currently dealing with now is rumor mills of a Pro system, which I kind of don't see the point in currently because I don't think people are sitting there looking at the PlayStation 5 games going, damn, these look bottlenecked as hell. I don't think any of these things are bottlenecked, right? I think what we're currently going through is kind of Sony's issue really starting to pop up. So it depends on what you buy PlayStation consoles for. And I guess I'll ask you guys that in the chat. What do you buy PlayStation consoles for as I continue to talk? So I'll be answering that while I'm talking. But if you told me, okay, you came for The Last of Us, you came for Horizon, you came for God of War, you came for Ghost of Tsushima, you came for, I don't know, Days Gone, you came for Ratchet and Clank, you came for these games, and if you've been following Sony's patterns, you know what they do every generation, especially since probably like the PlayStation 3, where they move forward and introduce some new IPs, right? And then they take the old IPs and they look through them and they shake the basket up, and some of them just fall into the void, never to be seen again. And the couple that stay are the ones that are moving into the next generation. Usually it's the ones that did pretty well. So like fucking going into to be fair, the PS3 carried on a lot more IPs versus the PS3 to the PS4. The PS4 only carried over what? Uncharted, Last of Us, Ratchet and Clank. God of War is a weird situation because it is a reboot, but technically that did carry over, so I don't want to say it didn't. And technically Killzone and Infamous carried over. And now we're in the PS5 and the basket got shook again and you realize, damn, I think almost everything fell through. I think the only thing that's carried over this time is the God of War reboot, Spider-Man, Horizon, and it's just a rumor. It's like a fake Nintendo Switch 2 leak picture. But not a lot is carried over so far. Only a few, not 80% of the PX library. Where did that thumbnail come from? Only cared about Gravity Rush series. Even if you have a PC, you can wait to play PlayStation games. Exclusives, no reason to get an Xbox. PS2 will always be the golden era of Sony. What do you think of Fully Cooley remake? We'll get to that later. So we're currently in the era of like Sony looking. I'm looking at Sony's even Ghost of Tsushima, which I expect a sequel from because I'm like, that game came out at the end of the PlayStation 4. It would be a little weird if you didn't bother making a sequel for it, or at least doing something else for it, because their whole thing is to cast aside their less successful IPs and to push the ones that do make money or have some sort of relevance, or to keep them relevant, right? Horizon's only on its second game. God of War reboots on its second game. And then we're hitting, even Spider-Man is on its second game. Well, third, technically third in terms of games, but like second in terms of mainline games. Ghost might get a sequel, but I don't know what they're going to do for a story with it being redundant. My concern is going into the future of Sony. The biggest problem with the method they've been using to go from generation to generation is not even the method in itself. It's the fact that you're not matching more IPs for the ones you're losing. You're always losing more than what you're gaining. Even in gaming eras where they weren't putting out a lot to begin with. Like people would say the PS4, they didn't put out a lot for the PlayStation 4. Not saying there weren't good and amazing games on the PlayStation 4, but I'm saying there weren't a lot of games compared to the PS3, and the PS3 didn't have as much as the PlayStation 2. That's literally been the conversation. We have not gotten as much going from generation to generation. And now we've gotten to the point now where I'm looking at the PlayStation 5 and going, what the fuck are we playing? And I think it's very concerning because you don't see any future prospects of anything crazy going on. Now, Sony is a company that has pretty much survived, to me personally, on brand loyalty and doing just good enough. And that's not me being disrespectful. That's me being honest. When I talk about like the Wii U era and the Xbox One, and people ask me why did the PlayStation 4 win that war? Because PlayStation didn't do anything wrong, or didn't do anything wrong enough. Like, not that they were incredibly better than their competition. It's just that their competition both fucked up in their own ways, and Sony kind of just stayed the course. They treaded water. They didn't really do anything wrong. And they kind of burned everybody by going, hey, now you got to pay for online. Ha ha ha! And then ran off. Like, that's that's not funny. But that's literally what they did. They said, well, we just have a new console. It's stronger. The console has a pretty decent design. It's at an affordable price. And haha, you got to pay for online. Like, that's... And no one even cared. No one even cared, by the way, when it got announced, because we were like, woo, affordable pricing, woo, powerful console, woo, new games. Like, that's what people cared about. So Sony's whole MO, for me at least, in my opinion, has been to kind of just do okay, not to ever push the boundaries or take any risks. And now they announced this stupid, what is it, the Project Q thing, which is essentially a Wii U game chat. I think when I saw Black Baron stream, what was it, yesterday or the day before yesterday, and he mentioned, I was like, yeah, it's just a Wii U. It's just PlayStation's Wii U gamepad. That's all it is. Wait, can y'all not hear me anymore, or are you tripping, or am I tripping? When you said my mic dropped, my voice, you mean like you can't hear me, or did I just peak? I might have just peaked. Because I still see audio coming on my screen, but y'all let me know in the chat. Oh, okay. Lightning keep fucking lying to me, bro. I'm tired of this man lying to me, bro. But yeah. So we're still in this situation where, like, Sony has been just treading water and kind of just hanging with the IPs that they're cool with, and while also dropping a lot of their old stuff. And my question is, we've gotten into this minimalist approach to the PlayStation brand and games, and now and then you got the streaming service that they're pushing now, or their version of Game Pass, right? And my question kind of comes back to, for those of you who own a PlayStation 5, or those of you who prospectively are looking at your PlayStation 5, Do you see this as a problem? Because to me, this shit isn't, we're not getting more games. We're not even getting more interesting games. Like when you think about the kind of games we're getting, fucking Spider-Man to me, and this is coming from someone who enjoyed the first Spider-Man, the first one that came out on PlayStation 4, it's very much still hanging in the formula of Batman. Now listen, I fuck heavy with the Arkham games, except for Knight, because I haven't played it yet. But I loved Arkham Asylum, I loved Arkham City. I even think Arkham Origins is pretty good. But that has become the baseline for combat for a lot of games ever since it came out. And that is for better and for worse. It's both a good thing and a bad thing. And because of it, it kind of makes that game less unique on its own. And the fact that you put out a game right, you put out Miles not too long after it, and now the sequel's coming out this October, which I'm still excited to play, but like the excitement isn't like up here because I'm kind of already used to it. Like I think Wolverine would get me there, but that's it. Hold on, sorry, 1 second. All right, maybe you play more God of Fortnite. If you only playing Last of Us, Spider-Man, and the other first-person stuff, you might need a new console. Well, no, I mean I'm just talking about it because, and actually, Revolver, that's exactly what it is. They don't have variety. I would say, looking back at the PlayStation 4, which unfortunately I don't have my list of games with it. The PlayStation 4 had a decent amount of variety, but it was mainly thanks to third party, which has always been kind of Sony's thing. The Sony's okay, but you really need third party to kind of balance them out. Not saying that isn't true for the other companies, but it's especially true. I think it's probably more true for Sony in recent years than it used to be. Sony used to also play the fucking game of like, here are my exclusives that aren't actually my exclusives, but they're technically exclusive. I mean, hell, just look at Square Enix in them recently. Actually, in the last like console generation, Square wants so bad to be bought by Sony. It's ridiculous, right? And it's apparent. And to be fair, if Sony could use it, because Sony on its own, when you look at Sony's IPs, like just take even the ones from the PlayStation 4 era that they own, a lot of them were kind of the same kind of game, or at least in the same kind of field of games. And the only thing that makes it okay that they're in that field is because they're the only company that really makes those kind of games. Like, obviously, there are third parties that make games like that, but in terms of first party developers, Microsoft definitely doesn't make games like that, and Nintendo has no interest in making games like that. Nintendo's only had a couple games that even emulate that thought process, and most fans don't like those games. Metroid Other M, and I like that game, but still, I acknowledge that the game very much falls into modern gaming tropes that no one gives a fuck about, but they still did anyway. So as I asked you guys before, moving into the future of PlayStation, what are you confident about? Hell, what do you know that's coming out that you're excited about? Because Forspoken came out and was kind of a shit the bed situation. We try not to bring that up, but it just wasn't a good game. And it showed. Seems like the Americans enjoyed Final Fantasy 16, Rise of Ronin, Stellar Blade, and Wolverine. Just Spider-Man and I don't know. Damn, what's... Oh, Lord, I have no faith in modern Sony. Jesus, this is where we're at. This is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. Final Fantasy 16 was an easy skip. Yeah, to me, that. I don't like to hold that against Sony, but it's very much like that. That depends on what kind of gamer you are. Depends on if you like that Final Fantasy 16. I mean, I think this is just important because where do you see Sony going moving forward? Because they really don't care about investing in Japanese titles anymore. That's been kind of plainly obvious from the last couple of years, right? At this point, you're mainly just relying on third-party titles and the occasional interesting first party title. But do people find it interesting that we only really get what, maybe 2 to 3? And it's recently it feels more like 1 or 2, but I would say I'll say at least 2 to 3 Sony exclusives, like Sony made exclusives a year. And to you guys, is that a decent amount? Now I know this is a little unfair because Nintendo I think has slowed down in some aspects, but Nintendo still has an insanely better track record for like exclusive titles and Nintendo made titles throughout their console, like through a year. But still, like, is that fine? Is it fine that you're only really getting 3 Sony focused games at most a year? Yeah, they are making more deals with Korean and Chinese companies. You're all right. But is that okay? I guess my question is, do y'all feel the state of PlayStation 5 to me? Because when we're moving into the future, let's say that PS5 Pro comes out. Like, what do y'all? I don't even see the point in a PS5 Pro other than the fact that they can do it. To be fair, though, I felt the same thing about the PS4 Pro. The PS4 Pro to me didn't feel like a game console that we needed. Although that's the one I ended up buying because it came out around the time before I delved into a PlayStation 4. A PS5 Pro would probably be in the same situation because I didn't buy a PlayStation 5. When I get a PlayStation system, the first system I probably will get is a PS5 Pro. But in terms of me feeling like I need it is my issue. There's no point to get to a PS5 Pro. Not many adjustments and improvements can be made, honestly. Exactly. So I don't understand the point. But also, there's been conversation of whether or not we're even going to get another physical console generation from the 3 manufacturers. Xbox, I don't think there's any confidence whatsoever we're getting anything future physical stuff from them. Like, a lot of people very much believe the Series X is probably it, or it's the second to last probably it console. I'm mainly excited for Wolverine, but I buy most of my games on PC or on Switch. See, and that's the combination. Although that is a decent segue into Xbox because, like I said, we're moving away from the physical console in a lot of ways. I mean, for God's sakes, we gotta remember we have a digital PlayStation 5 that you can purchase, and the only thing you're losing is a fucking disc drive. And the kicker is that with PlayStation games, like Xbox games, you're not really buying the game. You're more buying the key. And then once you get the key, you get online and the console's like, oh, that you bought this key. That means this game works now. But now you only have like a set amount of games you can download and shit. Which is what leads people in the situation where you have like 3 titles and now all of a sudden you need another hard drive expansion. Of course, it's the less possible one because people still want a disc-based system. But it's not like you need it. But it's a nice option. It also falls in line with that whole rumor about a detachable CD drive. Yeah, of course it is, Apex, because these things have become glorified PCs. I'm just saying, for me, the future of PlayStation looks kind of concerning. Because it feels like they're just going to become more homogenized as we move forward. That's the vibe I'm getting anyway. Well, now I feel a certain way about this. Deadass just bought some Joy-Con. What? PS digital console makes no sense given how big games are. Absolutely true. Also, to me, buying only digital with a console is hard in itself only for one reason. If you're the kind of person who buys new games and you want to buy, like, you're still spending the same amount of money. There is no real, like, yeah, but fresh ingredient, do people want to do that? Like, if I have a disc and I still have to install everything, what's the point of the disc? Now, is it the worst thing in the world? And let's be real here, we've been doing it for what, the last 3 generations of PlayStation consoles? I want to say 3. Because I think the PS3 made you do it, but I don't think the PS3 made you do it like all the time. But I think the PS3 did make you do it sometimes. I'm just saying it's a weird spot to be in that we're like in the future of gaming, quote unquote. Well, I will have waited on the new Switch if I knew about it. Oh, you would have waited on the new Switch, I guess. No, that's it. I mean, this is still rumor mill stuff anyway. There's no guarantee this is happening. It's likely to happen, but there's no guarantee it's going to happen. I'd rather not, but downloading a game over again isn't that bad. I run out of space all the time. That's really the only drawback when it comes to physical copies of games. They only store a few megabytes of the game data required to play. Exactly. Because they're not really, you're not really buying the game on the disc anymore. It's just more of an unlocked to get the full game online. And that's why all these consoles are so online dependent. Which, once again, I think is a good segue into Xbox. Because honestly, with PlayStation, I'm just saying I'm worried. We don't have a lot of interesting games announced and titles that are from Sony. Sony is not really using a lot of its IPs. And I fear that the next major titles we're going to get is just going to be like Uncharted and fucking Last of Us. Which I'm just not like. I'm like, guys, you do something else. You have like Astro's Playroom, I think, was a decent idea. Maybe go back and, I mean, obviously, I imagine Knack is dead. And to be fair, we made fun of Knack, so it's not like I was a part of the solution. But just go back and or just work on a new IP. I would prefer that at this point. But, you know, and then we got the streaming service. But for me, at this point, I'm just concerned of the future of PlayStation. PlayStation, to me, feels incredibly concerning in terms of new, interesting content and in terms of amount of that content. Because right now, there's not a lot of reasons to buy a PlayStation 5 unless you just want your games to look and sound better. And if you're the same person who sit there and focus on like beefing up your PC to ridiculous degrees, you may not even care. Especially now that like PlayStation games are finding themselves on Steam. And with the PS disc, don't even require you to be online to play on like Xbox. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, okay. I'm glad to know that. I can easily buy cheap storage for my PC. I have 8 terabytes. Never have to worry about deleting and re-downloading. Yeah, I got you. Okay. But I guess we'll shift into Xbox because Xbox is in a weird position. So let's get one thing out of the gate here. Yeah, I think Spider-Man 2 is PS5 only. It's one of the few PS5 only games. So let's transition to Microsoft because Microsoft is in a weird position. I think it is fair to say that ever since the Xbox One came out, and I'm talking about the one from like 2013, ever since that console came out, Xbox has been probably the most unappealing console of the three. And I'm talking between the Xbox One, the Xbox Series S, the Xbox One S, and the Xbox Series X, right? It has probably been the least interesting and the least appealing console on a base level. Not saying the Game Pass isn't a good thing and that it doesn't intrigue individuals. What I'm saying is that from a console perspective and from a gaming perspective, you release dog shit after dog shit after dog shit after dog shit, or just mediocrity. And every game you do grab that's good eventually becomes available on other platforms. Sunset Overdrive, PC, Killer Instinct, PC, Cuphead, PC Switch, Ori, PC Switch, Super Lucky Tail, PlayStation Switch, PC. Like, most of the games like in Hi-Fi Rush, Steam, currently. Like, you got games that are good, but almost everything else ends up... The games that I think are worth... that are like catalog building, even if they're smaller titles, always seem to find themselves on like better systems that you want to play. And Microsoft to me has only really been good maybe for a console generation and a half. The half is the 360 generation. People talk a lot about the 360 generation. And Revolver, you're right. In terms of game volume, in the beginning at least, you are correct. They were pretty good. And then they completely fell off a cliff in the latter half of the 360 generation and never fucking recovered. All they've really done now is just buy their way through the console generations, which in my argument, and I hate to admit it, I think it's worse than what PlayStation does. PlayStation, even if they only release 2 or 3 major titles a year, at least 2 of them bitches are bangers, at least. Or at least absolutely worth the investment financially, right? With Xbox, I'm very much expecting shit and pleasantly surprised when the game is, alright, it's okay. And the problem is that there's been so much mismanagement of money and businesses. There's been a bunch of shitty fucking decisions, and they're about to own Call of Duty. And I'll be real with you, the most exciting thing for me about that Call of Duty acquisition is one thing, that Nintendo systems are getting Call of Duty again. And that's not even because I care about Call of Duty in itself. I just care about Nintendo having it and people being able to enjoy it. And hopefully it's catered to the way it was for like the Wii and shit. I don't really give a fuck about Call of Duty outside of that. I don't care. Xbox, to me, and a lot of, I think it was a Water that did that whole like, in my head, I'm a programmer. In my mind, no, I am a businessman. I think my shirt says I'm a businessman. In my head, I'm a engineer, but in my heart, I'm a gamer. I very much believe there is no heart at Xbox when it comes to gaming. I very much believe Xbox looks at this shit as a business and thinks acquisitions is just the best way to go about things because they don't have any first-party studios that have the same heavy-hitting talent as their competitors. Because regardless of how I feel about Sony, Sony still has bangers in their hands. Like Insomniac does good shit. Santa Monica does good shit. I may not care for the games personally, but it's still good shit, right? I can't say that about Microsoft's teams. Most of Microsoft's teams are dog shit, and then the ones that they buy aren't really theirs. I don't really view fucking MDR as theirs. I don't view, is it Blue Moon, the main Ori? I don't view them as that. And that's a little unfair because that they do own those companies now, but still it's like those are games that in most cases we've been running across games that they've made and come out. Like they're games that are in the middle of development and they just, Moon Studio. There we go. Thank you, Apex. Games that to me, Cuphead and Ori feel like games they funded. I feel like Hi-Fi Rush is in the same position. Games that they funded. And my concern moving forward is that, like, to me, that shit's not going to cut it. We keep talking about, like, Xbox got this, that, and the third coming. And you never believe any of it because we've gone almost 10 years of them lying consistently. Even this year, people are like, well, Starfield's coming out. That's going to be great. And I'm like, and Hi-Fi Rush came out earlier this year, and it was great. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Except Starfield's still in the air. Starfield doesn't get a pass until it comes out, and people are actively enjoying it. But we also had Redfall come out this year, and that game didn't do well in any way, shape, or form, right? So even on one of Xbox's better years, you still got some bullshit to deal with, okay? And I think that's the part that's frustrating. They can't just be consistent about releasing quality shit and then somehow the fans are in the back like, why don't you support them? Bruh, they haven't supported the gamer in fucking years, dude. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And the way I always talk about Nintendo, which also correlates with a transition into Nintendo, is for me to gain the level of trust in Nintendo's ability to have and keep third parties on their system is the same thing I look at, but in a different way when it comes to Xbox and game consistency. I'll stop being so negative towards Xbox's new game announcements and releases when they start consistently putting out quality shit. Nintendo, I'll start believing and trusting in your third-party ventures. Well, third-party ability to get third-party games when you consistently get third parties without any fucking question. Every time I gotta question it means that we're not consistent. And spoiler, the Switch did not fix that. It's just different now. That's all I can really say about that. It's different, but it's not the same thing. Look on the bright side, the Xbox game system is getting better compared to the 360. Well, yeah, in terms of just it's a better made system, absolutely. Like I don't look at the only thing about it is that it gets kind of hot. But if you keep it in an open area, it's fine. Um, I hope Nintendo buffs their online services. Oh, absolutely. That will always be a crutch of theirs, no matter what the fuck people tell you. Damn it, I had another fry in here. Hold on a second, guys. We gotta take another chicken bite, obviously. One second. So here's the thing. With all these company acquisitions from Xbox, Xbox has a high potential to be a real threat moving forward. The biggest problem is that Xbox doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, bro. And it's really obvious they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Because even when they win, they always fucking stumble. It's ridiculous, right? And let's be real here. We've been watching a lot of failing and stumbling for like the last decade. So it's hard to be optimistic about Xbox's future because Xbox hasn't given me a reason to be optimistic. Now, if Starfield comes out and it's a quality title, that means you finally had a pretty successful year. Minus Redfall, you've overall had a net positive year. And it'll be the first year where we've done that because realistically it hasn't happened in a while. But I'm still incredibly concerned about the future of Xbox because Xbox doesn't fucking like... Xbox for me is a company that doesn't really have the heart of gaming in it. And it doesn't create its own unique vision most of the time in an enjoyable way. What usually ends up fucking happening is that we get like games made by people who care, who are just bought and owned by Microsoft. I want something from Microsoft Studios other than fucking Forza that has a labor of love in it. Because people go, well, what about Halo Infinite? Halo Infinite is a cool game if I've heard good things about it. The biggest problem about it was simple. They didn't fucking support it. What? It's always a caveat with these games. Even some of the good ones go through it. Like, hey, look, new Crackdown game. It's a broken piece of dog shit. Hey, look, Hellblade 2. We haven't released it yet. We keep giving you a bunch of teaser bullshit footage. Okay, can we? What about? I don't know. Redfall, new IP. Yeah, that got mismanaged, so that's kind of in shit. I'm like, was that the studio who fucked up? Yep. But your name's on it now, so yep. If I give you the praise for Cuphead, I have to give you the L for Redfall. Yeah, completely understandable. Even Killer Instinct, which I think was generally a good game, had the old issue of, well, we're gonna give you like a couple characters, and you're just like, don't do this. It's Killer Instinct. Like, there are certain IPs that don't need to get hoarded out in this shitty way. Nah, I think it's too late. Are we ever gonna get a sequel for it? Nah, we're not talking about that right now. Son of a bitch. And it never really gets any easier. It sucks. You guys have really gone to the Nintendo conversation. Y'all want to talk Nintendo? It sounds like y'all want to talk Nintendo in the chat. Because the reality is that Xbox has a future that can be potentially bright if they do better. So the biggest issue is that, are they going to do better? So let's talk about Nintendo, because a lot of y'all want to talk about Nintendo. So, Nintendo's in a weird spot. Nintendo, unfortunately, has one unfortunate curse of their consoles, and that started, I would say, with the N64. Nintendo has never had a double successful console in a while, actually. I think actually the Nintendo to the Super Nintendo was the last time it happened. Because after the Super Nintendo, the N64 came out, which wasn't as successful as the Super Nintendo. Then the GameCube came out, which also wasn't that successful. And up until the Wii U was the least successful Nintendo console. Then the Wii came out, was an absolute banger, and so much money was made. and Nintendo get kind of lazy and rested in their laurels and burned themselves. And then the Wii U came out and was now the least selling Nintendo console ever. Ever. And then the Switch comes out and fucking surpasses the Wii. I think currently it is the most sold Nintendo console, or it's at least up there. I don't know if it's the 100% the most sold, but it's definitely up there, right? And now we're going into another console. Now, if we're going with the way this shit usually goes, what's probably going to happen is Nintendo is not going to do as well. It's kind of hard to beat your most successful console, unfortunately. But the question is it going to do like Wii numbers? Like, it's still going to be like high, but it's not going to be as high? Or is it going to crash and burn like the fucking Wii U? And that is my concern currently, because Nintendo has a bad track record of fucking up the next system right after a successful one. It happened with the Wii, it happened with the Super Nintendo, and it can easily happen with the Switch. That the next console comes out and that shit just hits the wall and you're just like, damn, what happened? There is no ProRes making anything. And like I mentioned before about the third party situation, that's still a situation for Nintendo. Like, that's not pretend like it's not. It absolutely is still a problem with Nintendo. The Switch, it gives you a different out, though. The Switch's argument was, well, you're a different kind of console, and certain games can't be built on it. Although they did go around the same song and dance of like, well, you know, Nintendo gamers don't really care about those kind of games. Well, the processor just isn't as strong as we would like it to be. Well, I don't think the graphical capabilities are just up to par for what our engines need to properly convey the game. I feel like there would have to be too many compromises made. Like, we still got that song and dance, and as some special games being put out proved, that was bullshit. It was just that you didn't want to spend the money and invest the time, which is fine, but motherfuckers wouldn't just say that. They always danced around it on some, well, I just think this doesn't really fit the fan base, or I don't really think Nintendo has the control scheme to really fully take advantage of what we're trying to do here on this game. Like just be real. You didn't want to spend the money to invest in the console. I just don't think the console's powerful enough. Like, no, you didn't want to spend the time to invest in the console. Just be honest about it. Motherfuckers keep lying like I'm stupid, like I don't know what you're doing. So going into the next system, guess what? Just like with Xbox, I'm paranoid with their first party. Nintendo, I'm paranoid with the third party. That we walk into this bitch and people go, yeah, we're still not making. We're still not gonna make a lot of third party games for the next Nintendo console. And everyone's in the back like, God damn it, not again. Are we literally about to go through another generation? But here's the thing. I think next generation will be very interesting for Nintendo. So if you own a Switch, and most of you probably do, you've noticed that on top of getting the games from Nintendo and getting some interesting third-party exclusives, we've also got a bunch of ports. And this was interesting because of Nintendo's history with some of these games. Like, we got fucking BioShock. This is the first system to see the BioShock series. Borderlands. Devil May Cry. This is the first console to get Devil May Cry on it. What else? Nier Automata. Like, just certain titles we had never seen on Nintendo consoles, and they had been out either for like as recently as the PlayStation 4 generation or as old as like the PlayStation 2 generation, because Nintendo missed out on a lot of stuff. Hell, I think this is the first generation where we got all the mainline Final Fantasies minus what, 13 trilogy and 14 and mainline 15. Not the Pocket Edition, because that doesn't count, right? We've seen Mortal Kombat on Nintendo consoles before, so that's why I didn't put it. But the point I'm making is, even Doom remake, same thing. So what a lot of third parties decided to do this generation was simple. They decided, if we got to put something out on Nintendo consoles, why don't we just give them the back catalog of games they never got, right? Yeah, this is also the first generation we got Persona. We've had Resident Evil on Nintendo systems before, so I won't count that one. But the point is that let's do a bunch of back catalog games that they never got back then. Like there's a bunch of titles because of Nintendo's decisions from the GameCube era, from the N64 era, from the Wii era, from the Wii U era. Like there have been various decisions for certain titles that never touched Nintendo consoles. So those games were pretty much lost to Nintendo players, right? That was like the companies were like, listen, I really don't want to put like I don't want to invest in like a bunch of money on this. I want to just try something small and quick. And so that's what a lot of companies did. They did a bunch of ports, and some of them were better than others. Some of them were weirder than others. Like how for some reason the definitive way to play Devil May Cry 3 is on the Switch. And only the Switch. Why? I have no fucking idea, but it is. Yeah, that's right. We don't talk about the whole Kingdom Hearts thing. Don't even bring that shit up to me, bro. That shit makes me sad as fuck. But it does fall in line with what I'm saying. Nintendo got a lot of that back catalog. And this is important because that means going into the next system, if the next system is at least decently successful, like 50 mil, 70 mil or some shit, that means that a lot of these companies can't do what they did last gen and put on a bunch of fucking ports. Like a lot of people will tell you that when it comes to the Switch, and this is coming from a guy who has a pretty decent Switch collection, we got a lot of back games. And I didn't mind it for the Switch because those games had never shown up on Nintendo consoles. But now going into the next console generation for Nintendo potentially, you can no longer just like chill on that. You now have to put in some effort about what games we get. Because I don't want Street Fighter 2, the new challenger. I don't fucking want Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2. You gotta give us, the only thing they gotta give us is like the 13 trilogy, 15, and we probably won't see 16 for a while. There are just certain titles you can no longer make the argument that like, hey, you guys didn't have this last year, so we're giving it to you this year. Because although that is a viable argument now, it is not. Shut up, Orion Sword. I know it wasn't the best example, but you get my point. But you're right. You're right, Nike, and that gets into the other thing. They can't port like their old stuff anymore because they already did. But they can port the PlayStation 4 library or Xbox One library. Now, granted, there's not a lot of titles in that generation that really need ports or that people care about, but there are some titles that people would care about. So, and to me, I guess that's less offensive than us getting PlayStation 2 games. Let me understand something. We got a lot of like PS2 and like PlayStation 1 titles, mainly PlayStation 2 though. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like, I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, what are we doing here? Like, am I really looking at fucking like Devil May Cry? Like that shit's normal? It wasn't. We still don't even have the fucking Yakuza series. Although I think that's more on Nintendo than anything else. That's not my fucking point. Where's your friend Mario? You must be talking about Nessa. You're probably talking about Nessa. Yeah. That was a cool Mario Kart stream. But yeah. So, it's not like we can't still have that. But the reality is Square Enix is full of incompetence. They should give us worse cloud versions on Switch of Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, I imagine if the console was good enough, Nintendo will probably get like proper versions of those games. The Switch low-key a PlayStation 2 3 port machine. No, it was more like mid-key then. It's more like mid-key. I wouldn't even say it's low-key. It's mid-key a PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 port machine. But like I said, we never got those games. A lot of Nintendo consoles didn't get a lot of those titles, so I get it. But like going into like the next console generation, you can't keep doing that. These companies are gonna actually have to put out new content on the fucking next system, especially if it does well, which is my concern with Nintendo, because Nintendo doesn't normally have two successful consoles back to back. It just hasn't happened in a while, like a long while. So I'm concerned about the console doing well, and I'm concerned about third parties putting out, because it also hinges on what kind of game console we get. Like, how strong is our next Switch, which we won't know until way later. So we're kind of in the air. Like, I'm excited for new Nintendo stuff, and the good news is that if it does transition next year, that'll be a relatively smooth transition gaming wise, which is way better than what happened between the Wii and the Wii U. Because if you knew anything, you know the Wii's last year was pretty fucking rough. Other than like, I think, what was it, Skyward Sword? I think it was the only thing of major note to come out. So Skyward Sword came out, and then the console was just dead up until November of when the Wii U launched. And then the Wii U launch was okay. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it was all right considering what it was. And it still didn't sell well because of all of its other problems. So it's like, if they can smoothly transition into the Switch 2 or Super Nintendo Switch, whatever they call it, we will be goated. The problem is if they can fucking do it. Hell, the Switch is 6 years old, and EA has just now added the Frostbite engine to FIFA. Yeah, what the but EA is a dog shit company, so you know. It's like, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but you kind of should have expected that. If portable, it has to be 1080p 60. If docked in the home console, it has to be 1440 60 or 4K 30 60, please. We don't know how strong he's gonna be though. Also, and actually, you know what, Revolver, you bring up a good point. How many ports are we getting starting off a new console generation for Nintendo? Like, are we getting a bunch of Switch ports or Switch up-reses into the new system? Now, from what the rumors have been saying, is that this system is going to be cartridge based like the Switch is, right? So if it's just a simple, you put it in, you can play your games on the Switch too, and them bitches get upscaled / up-res, then I think that would be fine. It'll also stop Nintendo from being stupid and being like, let's just report all those games over again. Because Nintendo's been on some port CD shit for a good minute. And ports are fine within reason, but at a certain point, I'm just like, bro, can y'all chill like for a little bit? Just a little bit. I say this, but one of the most anticipated games of this year is a remake. So, I mean, I guess the fans don't give a fuck. But we also want new content, because, you know, Zelda sold like 20 million. Good God almighty. Oh, no, the ice is too small. I would hope so, but, you know, it depends on how forward-thinking Nintendo wants to be. And it's Nintendo. Nnintendo's concerns are not just simple, like, console shit. It's also, and I think, what is it? Fresh Ingredient just brought it up, too. The achievements. We're worried about a whole bunch of other things. The account system, the games, like, how much of this properly carries over. That's basically what the PS5 does. Upgrade your game for free. Exactly. But is Nintendo forward thinking enough to do the same thing? I unfortunately don't have the same amount of confidence as I would like to, because Nintendo, as we all know as Nintendo fans, likes to do fucking hard resets every time you jump into a new console generation. They did it with the DS. They did it with the Wii. They did it with the 3DS. They did it with the Switch. They did it with the Wii U. We always go through a fucking reset. So I think for Nintendo fans, you've rebought games at least 3 fucking times. The good news, potentially, is that they're not doing it again. That's potentially because we don't know and we're fucking terrified. Because we still got this stupid ass, where is it? That stupid Nintendo Switch Online app that doesn't fucking get used, but exists. And I'm sitting here in the back like, please don't make me go through this shit again. But hold on, let me see. Because I think that I still have that on my phone, I think. I do. Has it even been updated? I think it got updated somewhere recently. I remember seeing something. Because right now we still got this fucking, hold on. Make sure I got it right. This wonderful fucking, this is our online right now. The kicker is this isn't even bad in its own right. It should have just been a fucking companion piece. You know, it's really jarring when I go from that app to Xboxes. That gives me notifications when I get achievements. And I can buy games off of this bitch. Like, hold on. I want to give like a good example of this. I can remotely cut my fucking my Xbox system on with the app. Like, if I wanted to, there's a fucking button up here. Like, it's just a better overall system. And I'm sitting here like, what are we doing here, bro? Like, what are we doing here, man? My profile fucking even has like, the Twitch and Discord and Steam connections, because you can do that. Like, Nintendo, I think people let Nintendo slide with a lot of shit because of nostalgia and because we look at them in a way that they keep putting themselves in, which is this fucking box of like, well, we're just not like the other guys, and we're just not gonna be that way. We're gonna live in an octagon now, while the rest of you live in rectangles. It's like dealing with Willy Wonka. Haha, I made a culturally relevant statement. Fuck, I stuttered. No! But that's my point. Hold on. That's our situation. Like, we're fucking Nintendo. I'm worrying about like 3 other things. The one thing I'm not worrying about with Nintendo is game quality. I'm like, am I worried about games? No, because I've been chilling this gen, dude. Look at that fucking, look at it. Look at all that red. You think I'm worried about game quality? Man, I'm coasting. And that's the reason why Nintendo gets away with some of the bullshit they pull. Because look at that quality. Look at that fucking box set. Not box set, special edition. Right there, bro. We ain't worried about game quality. We just want them, to get everything else up to snuff. And the big deal is, can we carry over? Can we carry over? And I'm asking you, please, Nintendo. Can we carry over our accounts? Can we carry over Nintendo Switch Online? Can we improve Nintendo Switch Online? Can we make a more powerful console? Can you future-proof your console? Please. Hell, because they could have overclocked the Switch and they actively chose not to. And that's what a weaker fucking, that was what a weaker system. I'm like, bro, you're so close, Nintendo. You're so close. But am I excited for a new console from them? Absolutely. Just, don't make the same mistakes you've done before. And let's have 2 successful consoles in a row. Because I feel like we're out here struggling, fam. And I don't want to struggle anymore. We are worried about those small things. Because those small things that for Xbox and PlayStation, we don't give a fuck about. With Nintendo, it's like, shit, am I going to have a controller that has a goddamn microphone hookup at the bottom and fucking analog triggers. Nah, I'm gonna get this, which no bullshit. I like the Pro Controller, but like it's definitely lacking in some areas, like this shit, right? Like it's lacking in some areas. But just what the fuck? To the point when people are like, bro, I think Xbox has a better D-pad than Nintendo does. Which is insane when you realize they built this shit. They made the D-pad a household thing. The fuck you mean Xbox has a better D-pad? The fuck is wrong with you? But it is true. They do have a better D-pad. So I'm just sitting here panicking like a coward. Like, no, don't do it. There's a new Star Fox and F-Zero so hard to do. I don't think the problem is that you're dealing with artistes. Like I would say Sony's a traditionalist. Xbox is a poser. And Nintendo's an artiste, meaning Nintendo will always have the best quality titles, but Nintendo will also do that fuck shit where they're like, let's see what we can make a game out of. Ugh. Let's see here. Hey, we haven't made another. We should really reinvest back into some old IPs. This looks like a title. We can make something creative. We'll call it Splatoon, and it comes out as a fucking household name. So you'll get situations like this where it's like, now we have a brand new IP that's like super fucking interesting, and we're like, cool, we love you, artist Nintendo. But then someone in the back will be like, hey, Mr. Nintendo, sir, can we get another Star Fox, please? That cool shooting game with furries? Sure. Let's see. Star Fox. Oh, I remember it was back in my heyday. Made me some quality aerial shooter. A genre I haven't really touched in a while. Could really get my juices flowing. It really could. Nah. I'm just not feeling it today, guys. I'm just not feeling the Star Fox. So I think I'm gonna go, actually. Miyamoto, where are you going? I think I'm gonna go, guys. Hey guys, I have an idea. What if I make another Pikmin game? How would you guys like that? How would you guys like a Pikmin game? I think I'm gonna make a Pikmin game. Here's a Pikmin game for you. I think you'll like it. And everyone's in the back like, I like Pikmin. It's a cool game. I enjoy it. Can we get like a Star Fox though? Like the Pikmin game was fun. You're right. The Pikmin game was fun. But can we get a Star Fox? Well, let's see. Let's see if you can get that old Star Fox here. Let's see. Star Fox. Well, I don't really want to make it myself personally. I'm just not inspired. So I think I'm going to have my friends make it. I'm going to have my friends make us a Star Fox. And see, now you got yourselves a Star Fox. But even though I'm not going to make it and I don't feel like making it, I'm going to put insane restrictions on what they can and can't do with it. And what I want them to do is take our unique controller and base a whole fucking game around it. And we're like, Miyamoto, I understand why you want to do that, and it's in line for you to want to do that, but can we not, can we just like this one time, just let the game exist? No, I think we need to do something unique with it, so I think we're going to make it be only usable with the gamepad and this weird ass twin stick tilt and control bullshit. And people are like, it's not that I can't get used to it, it's just not fun on default, which is concerning for an IP that's been dormant for years. And it's like, well, I just think this is where the direction I think we should go. So Here you go. I hope you enjoy your Star Fox. What happened? Well, sir, Star Fox only sold a measly, like, couple 100,000 copies. See, these fans are ungrateful. They don't understand that this takes time to make, and this is why I didn't make Star Fox before. You fuckers just don't understand my vision. I'm going back to making Pikmin. Hold on. You guys are just ungrateful. You're fucking ungrateful. That's what you are. You ungrateful sons of bitches. You could have supported anything you wanted to. And what did you choose to do? You choose to not support the greatness that is Star Fox Zero. So guess what? I'm going to go work on Pikmin 4. Fuck you guys. I'm going home. Miyamoto, don't do it. No, guys. You're fucking dicks. You could have supported the game. You don't care about Star Fox. We do care about Star Fox. We just want you to make the game normal. Just make it a twin stick shooter like it was meant to be. No, you want more Pikmin. I'll be back, guys. I'm gonna go make some more Pikmin. Please, Miyamoto, just make a normal Star Fox. No. You guys want Pikmin. You want Pikmin. So I'm gonna give you Pikmin. Miyamoto, no! I'm back with more Pikmin. I hope you enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. And then everyone looked in the back and goes, well, I like Pikmin. Damn it, it's good. Fuck you, Miyamoto. Just make, why can't you do this with Star Fox? Everyone loves and hates Miyamoto, I swear to God they do. Particularly because you have no other choice. Kid Icarus? Ooh, hold on. I know I got that bitch down here. Hold on. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? I know I have it. Hold on. Here we go. So I decided to put my boy Pit. I thought that would be an interesting choice for the new Smash Brothers game. I personally believe that Pit is an underrated character in Nintendo's history that deserves his recognition in the sun. So I'm going to just put him in here. And everybody was like, okay, cool. Alright, that's fine. We now have Kid Icarus. It's a nice callback. It's kind of if you're a hardcore Nintendo fan, you know where he's from. It's a cool tidbit. A couple years later, it's like, oh, by the way, we're going to make a familiar face show up on the 3DS to really get the sales going. What's that? And then hits you with the fucking Uprising. And we're like, God, Sakura, I don't even need this, bro. What? I wasn't like clamoring for a Kid Icarus game. Like, it's cool and all, but like, I didn't need a Kid Icarus game. And Sakura's like, well, I was bored and I was inspired, so I decided to give you a Kid Icarus game. And we were like, okay, I ain't never played Kid. I'm gonna try. I'll try it for you, Sakurai. Fuck, I hate this control scheme, but god damn it, this is great. I love this game, Sakurai. I can't wait for a sequel. Sakurai, I can't wait for a sequel. When's the sequel coming out, Sakurai? Sakurai, I can't get enough of Kid Icarus. Palutena's a baddie. Can she have my babies? Like, can we? When we getting another Kid Icarus? Sakurai. 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 Hey, Sakurai. I closed the studio. Bye. I'm gonna go work on the next Smash Brothers. What? Sakurai, come back. Sakurai, come back. Sakurai. What? Come on, guys. What? What's going on? What do you want? You gonna talk about what just happened? What do you mean? What's happening? Sakurai, you just put out like this amazing game on the 3DS that revitalized the whole series. Yeah, so God, we want another one. We want another one. I don't really know. I've already dissolved the studio. It doesn't exist anymore. I think you guys should just be happy for what you got. I mean, it's a good game, is it not? It is a good game. That's why we want more of it. Give me another game, Sakurai. I mean, do you want it more than Smash Brothers? I mean, no, but like, that doesn't mean I still don't want the game. Well, I think you guys want a new Smash Brothers from me, right? Oh, I mean, yeah, I want another Smash Brothers. Well, I think I'm gonna work on another Smash Brothers for you guys, because I know you're really gonna want that. Fine, Sakurai, go work on Smash Brothers. All right, I'll be back. I'll be back, guys. I'll be back. And then a couple years pass, and we get, here's your Smash Brothers, guys. Here's your Smash Brothers. Here's your Smash Brothers. And we're like, dang, Sakurai, this is a really good Smash Brothers. Way better than Brawl. This shit looks great. Oh, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. No, we're making DLC for it. The first time our console's getting DLC. These games are getting DLC. Cool. I'm fucking excited. Everything's happy. When do you think we're gonna get that? When you gonna revisit that whole Kid Icarus topic? God, guys, I thought you had forgot about that. Like, I mean, you want DLC, don't you? I mean, yeah, but like, we still want Kid Icarus a little bit, Sakurai. Let me finish the DLC, and we'll talk about it. Okay, we'll talk about it. Hey guys, I'm back. I think I got something you're gonna like. I think I got something guys. I think you're really gonna like this. Hold on. Oh my God, this shit is stuck in here. Here we go. I think I got something you're really gonna enjoy, guys. I think I got something you're gonna enjoy. Oh wait, I think you guys are gonna enjoy this. I think you guys are excited. You gotta be pretty excited for this, right, guys? You're definitely excited. Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm happy for a new Smash Brothers. But like, what's the big deal? You're not excited? Listen. I'm excited, Sakurai. I truly am. I cannot wait to play the next installment in Smash with all the DLC and all the other characters from the previous games. My boy Snake is back. How can you say I'm not excited? I'm so excited, man. Okay, then what's the problem? You're acting ungrateful. You're the reason why I'm ungrateful in the first place. I didn't ask you for a Kid Icarus, and you gave it to me. It's like giving the first blowjob. I didn't ask you to do it, but now that I've had it, I can't imagine my life without it. Just give me another one. Can I get another one? Please. Please. I gotta be real with you. I gotta be real with you, kid. I don't want to do it, so I'm not going to. Goodbye. Sakurai, no! Sakurai! And this is, ladies and gentlemen, why I do not like Nintendo developers. Because these motherfuckers will create greatness on a whim and then never do that shit again. This is what Nintendo developers do, y'all. I got caught up in that a little bit, I recognize, but like really, this is what Nintendo developers do. They'll make greatness and put it on the plate and be like, here you go. And you're like, what the fuck is this? And be like, it's greatness. And I'm like, why'd you do this to me? And it's like, I thought you wanted it. And it's like, yeah, but what the fuck? And then they'll never make it again. And I'm just like, what the fuck? What was the original conversation about? I completely forgot. I got lost in the role. Is this what acting feels like? Am I an actor now? Holy shit. My mom would be so proud. That's crazy, bro. But yeah, that's what happened. That's where we're at for the three companies. Sony has me incredibly worried because they're putting out less than they ever have, and they don't seem fucking inspired. They don't even seem fucking hungry right now. Xbox is in this weird, they could be great or they could be trash. It is up to them to get their shit together. And Nintendo, we're just like, I want fucking voice chat. Everything else will be fine. Just give me fucking voice chat. So yeah. That's the current state of our companies. How do you guys feel about it? Also, with Pokemon Presents, I'll quickly address, I don't want a remake. I want a new side game. Either a Legends side game or a Pokken tournament or something completely brand new. And I don't care about the DLC for Scarlet and Violet. Because I'm probably not gonna buy it. Because I'm not in the mood for it. I kinda need a break from Pokemon game-wise as well as the anime, so. Unless I'm just playing Scarlet for funsies, I don't really care. Fresh ingredient. I need you to understand something. You are absolutely correct. Black and White are amazing fucking games. But Game Freak cannot currently be trusted. So, don't fucking do it. Because the last set of remakes have been ass on different levels. Let's Go was a butchered version of Red and Blue. Oros was a neutered version of No, I'm not. I have no interest in being up to date on Horizon. Like, at all. What is it? Oh, Oros was a butcher version of Hoenn. What else? BDSP was a bastardized version of Diamond and Pearl. So I don't trust these fuckers to make a good representation of Unova. And I need them to do that one right because that game was goated in so many ways. That soundtrack is fucking legendary. And I still think they're gonna fuck that up. So, yeah, don't touch Unova. Please, for the love of God, don't touch Unova. Now, if you want to do a spin-off, of Unova? Fine. That's perfectly fine. You want to set aside gaming Unova? Fine. Perfectly fine. But please do not do a remake because you fuckers cannot be trusted. What's cap, Ryan Sora? You gotta be more specific. What's the part that's cap? I need specifics on the capness, okay? You can't be out here being like Katniss Everdeen and then not explain yourself. Actually, that would be interesting, but Game Freak ain't got the balls to do that. What? Hold on a second, guys. I'm a little distracted. I apologize. Now I'm done. Sora-san, no, you're late. Oh, I'm done with eating. Now you missed the mukbang. It's too late, Sora-san. You can't be forgiven. You are now the villain of this story. And as the villain, I must defeat you. With the power of anime. Unfortunately, One Piece doesn't come out until tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to make do with other methods. Oh God. Fucking ice fell on my shirt. You are the villain. Listen, a Gen 5 remake that's properly done sounds fire, absolutely. Do you currently trust current Game Freak to make a Gen 5 remake that is worth a damn? Because I sure as hell don't. And I don't need you ruining my favorite Gen. Well, no, that's not true. They already did that. When they fucked up Oros, that was when they ruined my favorite Gen. Don't ruin like my second favorite generation. Because I will kill someone. Your mind powers? What are you, fucking Professor X? Get out of here. Gen 2 the GOAT, stop playing. Listen, there are plenty of people who agree with you, Fresh Ingredient. I'm not that person. I'm not that guy. If you're looking for a blind cosign, you better look somewhere else, because it ain't me, bro. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Oh, my God. I never wanted to be that guy. Oh, Jesus Christ. But, unfortunately, you guys, I have bad news. The bad news in question is that, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here, guys. And here's the reason why. I have a prior engagement. So, unfortunately, what I'm going to probably try to do tomorrow is this. What I'm probably going to do is tomorrow I'm going to probably try to stream in the early afternoon, the DMC reboot, and then that night do One Piece, because One Piece comes out at like 10 o'clock my time. So tomorrow on Twitch TV / The Insane Game Freak, same name. I am going to be streaming. Um, I'll be streaming DMC Devil May Cry reboot. I want to say around 1 or 2 o'clock my time, Eastern Standard Time, and then 10 o'clock, around 10 o'clock or 10:30. I'm gonna do the One Piece reaction. And we'll probably talk about it, One Piece too. One Piece won't be, unfortunately I can't make that stream 3 hours. It's just not gonna work. But we're gonna do something. So yeah. Yeah, exactly, Ryan. So you'll get to hear it on stream. So I think are they doing the Pokemon Horizons reaction right now? Or am I wrong? I think they're doing, aren't they doing the Horizon reaction? Let me check. Oh no, KG's just, oh, KG's just doing like a chill stream. All right, whatever. I think, I don't know who's doing what first. I'm gonna say, let's support KG in his art endeavors. So when you guys leave here, go support KG in his art endeavors. So yeah, tomorrow DMC, and then tomorrow night One Piece. So you're getting 2 streams for the price of none because I don't charge you anything, and you should be thanking me. But with that being said, I do appreciate you guys for watching and the support and everything else. I'm gonna get out of here, but we will see each other tomorrow. So yeah, the One Piece live action situation, I'm probably gonna do reviews on that, but like, or if I do reactions, it might be like a Discord thing. Haven't really figured it out yet. I'm not overly excited about it, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for the love. I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I was able to entertain you tonight. Go support my boy KG and his art endeavors. This has been your boy, the Insane Gang Freak. Life's a game, play to win, and I will catch you guys later.